Hello, listeners. Today's question is, was Shakespeare a misogynist or a misogyny exposer? To start us off, I have an easier question. What was your favourite movie growing up? Oh, there's a caller coming in.
The Little Mermaid for sure.
Why?
Ariel is just so gorgeous and has everything together. Eric is the perfect man. I gotta find someone like him.
So you'd marry Eric?
In a heartbeat.
Well, Bartholomew, you are in a parasocial relationship. You formed a one-sided bond with a fictional character. Eric doesn't even know you exist. If you are listening at home and you are in a parasocial relationship, you're not alone. Psychoanalysts Horton and Wall discovered it's safer to crush on someone who would never like you back. Fictional characters cannot disappoint you. And fear of rejection is not there. Those unrealistic, perfect characters create a silhouette of beauty, romance, and gender expectations, while what's real is hidden behind the curtain. Feminist writer Margaret Atwood masterfully points out, women have more to them than virtue. They are fully dimensional human beings. Why shouldn't their many-dimensionality be given literary expression? Ariel, a virtuous, beautiful, meaning slender, well-bosomed and big-eyed, young woman who gets all she's ever wanted, and Ursula, a scheming, grotesquely ugly, meaning pixie-cut and large curves, woman who is demonized. Only part of the human experience is exposed. So why do we not show the whole? And more importantly, why did Shakespeare? Someone had to. Otherwise, tongues will tell the anger of their heart, or else their heart concealing it will break, as Catherine said in Taming of the Shrew. Today, in some parts of the world, women can freely speak up and out in all of their complexity for their anger towards misogyny and their rights, but it's been a long time coming. Some women are still voicelessly suffering, like Lavina in Titus Andronicus. Shakespeare famously said, "All the world's a stage." Through his stage, he intended to display a dramatized version of the glaring, eternal spotlight shining directly into women's lives and expose how drastically Elizabethan society aligns with the world's one-dimensional reality of women. Then he states, men and women are merely players. It implies that we are already stuck in a preemptive role assigned by our gender. Men act and women appear. Men look at women. Women watch themselves being looked at. This determines not only most relations between men and women, but also the relation of women to themselves. The surveyor of women in herself is male, the surveyed female. Thus, she turns herself into an object, and most particularly, an object of vision, a sight, as John Burgess said in 1977 in his book The Ways of Seeing. Flynn Rider, male protagonist in Tangled, was created from responses to a questionnaire women at Disney answered regarding the most attractive qualities of a man, physically and behaviourally, therefore creating an unachievable male figure, which in turn presents women with an unattainable perfect partner. Everywhere in the media there is subconscious indoctrination of young, impressionable minds. Girls grow up watching princesses with impossibly thin waists, big doe eyes, and perfect hair. Even Moana, one of the few without a love interest, still fits the male gaze. They aren't women, they're depictions of femininity shaped and scripted by men. Why is this so troubling? Studies show body dissatisfaction in young girls is an all-time high. Gender Portrayal and the Disney Princesses, a study completed by Dawn Elizabeth and colleagues, suggests that Disney princesses in particular greatly influence self-identity, defining girlhood through highly gendered fashion, rife with stereotypical representations. This leads to womanhood itself being a performance. Harrison and Hefner in 2006 found self-reported body dissatisfaction and eating disorders proliferate after the introduction of media, particularly for young girls. If we're saying that as a society we are feminist and body image positive and progressive thinking, why do we still have this issue of body negativity and an immense strain on an individual to not only find the perfect man, but have a relationship that is Instagrammable? Shakespeare was doing us a favour by offering difference and complexity within his female characters. In Shakespeare's sonnets from 124 to 130, he explores the speaker's desire for the Dark Lady. The speaker's relationship with the Dark Lady forces him to confront his own desires and flaws, exploring complexities of human nature. But he still isn't treating her well by our standard. 2025 society will view Shakespeare and his choices made in the Elizabethan era in a more negative light because, as the London newspaper notes, we cannot see things as they are. For we are compelled by a necessity of nature to see things as we are. We can never get rid of ourselves. The objectification of women is evident later, in Sonnet 153, through the use of his word maid, which reinforces the traditional stereotype of women as pure and modest. Even in the 21st century, the term continues to carry misogynistic undertones, connoting servitude, but no longer with sexual implication. A perfect fit for the role of maid is Hero. She exists solely for the development of the plot and her male counterpart. In Shakespeare's plays, he exposes the stageness of gender and love, instead drawing on the real complexity. The perfect love story begun with true love's kiss, typically ended with death. Romeo and Juliet are in their bubble of love, however, due to society's expectations, the result of their love is death. Othello and Desdemona, married against the odds of societal constraints, rapidly results in tragedy. Catherine, arguably one of the most complex women Shakespeare wrote, uses marriage for social acceptability, while Hamlet's Gertrude and Lady Macbeth used marriage as a political tool. Both men and women are merely players, restrained to their gender roles. This is the story we tell in children's media today. However, Shakespeare explores what would happen if we go off script. He depicts it as a negative breach of society's structure. In doing so, he poses the question, why do we confine our complex selves to a gender role?